Norm, first two games, and it's been, tough defensively for your new team and everything. Just wanted to start there, I guess. What do you feel like has been the challenge just for the team overall?
I think this game was totally different from last game, honestly. I mean, looked bad defensively, but I mean, I think what really hurt us was the turnovers and offensive rebounds. Not completing the possession. We got enough stops. There was a couple possessions that we had where we were great rotations, forcing them into tough shots, making the players take the shots that they didn't want to take. Their three-point shooters, getting them off the line, having them pull up in the mid-range area. But the offensive rebounds really hurt us this game. 21 offensive rebounds is pretty wild. I think that those two stats right there is the game. They had 21 points off offensive rebounds. See second chance points. Sure was up there too. You combine those two, second chance, 24 points. Second chance points, we got 21 points off turnovers. It's a game.
Yeah. Now, Todd put you in the starting lineup. It seemed like he was looking forward to getting the opportunity to do that. And I mean, you got off to a great start. Like, what helped you get off to that great start? And what do you feel like Memphis did to kind of turn just turn their attention to you a lot more?
I just want to attack. Like I said before, like the offense is very similar. So just making those reads, being aggressive, getting into the paint. The coaches have talked to me my ability to get into the paint, draw the defensive end. Now it's just making a reach from there, either finishing or kicking out to the open shooters or drop offs to the bigs. Early on, they're letting me get off those pin downs and get where I want in those ball screens, and then they're aggressively top blocking me before the play even started. So just for growing purposes for me, making adjustments when the teams are doing that, trying to take me out the game. Everybody, even before they were crossing half court, they were already in the top lock. So just trying to find ways to still get open, especially if I'm the one coming off initiating the first side of the play, so we can get into what we need to get into. But yeah, they definitely were trying to take me out with the top block, so I wasn't getting off in the screens. So just an adjustment for myself to read.
Yeah, and I guess the last thing for seed a little bit, that first unit plays differently than that second unit does. Like Ty would say that the second unit is more of a drive unit, whereas the first unit, you got guys who are more comfortable shooting it. For you, 2 games, new team, completely different units. What do you feel like was the biggest difference being with the starters versus being with the second unit?
Like I said, I just think the second unit plays off each other more, letting the offense work and things like that. We got a lot of skilled guys in the first unit, that can get a bucket. It's upon plays, getting guys in their spots and having them read off that. Whereas the second unit, I feel like first game I played with them, and a few minutes I had with them, it's working the offense, moving the ball from side to side, getting everybody touches and making the defense work a little bit more. So I think being in the first unit, mixing it up a little bit, getting into the paint, collapsing the defense, kickouts. We got some guys that can knock the ball down from outside. So, just finding the even balance of that, I think is the biggest thing for us. My first game of the starting unit. So, but just looking from the outside, I think that's the biggest thing, finding those reads throughout the game and seeing what the defense is doing, making them, rotate from side to side more to create open looks for our shooters.
Andrew, you can go ahead.
Hey Norm, I'm on the Zoom. I'm just curious. You mentioned the similarities, and obviously with Roy Rogers coming from this year's staff, last year up there, he's doing some of the defensive stuff. Like, what is most similar offensively and defensively? Like, are there things that I know that obviously a lot of the actions are the same across the NBA on all teams, but are there things that are like almost seamless between what you were doing in Portland and here?
Yeah, some of the coverage, the rotations and stuff are pretty much the exact same. I think there's a little bit more detail in what we're trying to do with different players. What I like. I think like some of the rotations and stuff is what I'm used to, like running go actions and stuff like that. That I ran when I was in Toronto defensively, but having the low man X outs, things like that. I mean, very similar, but they have like a lot more detailed breakdown of the team and the players and what they like. Trying to force different players different ways, different coverages. They give like their shooters or guys that like to drive different looks throughout the course of the game. I mean, it's fairly similar stuff. Like I said, just little changes, terminology that I got to get used to a little bit.
And then knowing that the offense is going to run so much, at least with the starting unit, through you and Reggie, I know you want to get to know all your new teammates, but do you take any extra time these last few days to really sit down with Reggie and sort of talk about how you would play off one another, knowing that a lot of it's going to hinge on you two getting the plays organized, et cetera?
Not so much. I mean, we've talked here and there. I mean, we haven't had like a full like, hey, let's sit down and figure this out. It's only 2 games, but talking to him on the bench or during the game, just talking about I have to get the ball more, bring the ball up the court, get us into the action when I'm in the second unit. So we don't have a true point guard. Things like that that we see throughout the course of the game. We talk about, as a team, just getting me comfortable out there and just going out there and hoop. That's what he wants to say. He said, man, just go out there and hoop. And we'll figure it out from there. So I think as, time goes on, you get some practices and stuff under the belt, get more comfortable with the guys and things like that. Those conversations we have, but, it's nothing forced where we have to sit down like right now and figure it out. But, it's just working it. It's a new team. The guys, figuring out what they like to do, where they like the ball. I know a little bit just from, being in the NBA and scouting reports and things like that. But playing together, that always takes a little bit of time to, gel a little bit and figure out where guys are and where they like to be at throughout the course of the game.
Miriam, you can close this out.
Hey, Norman, on the Zoom as well. Hey, I'm not sure how to ask this, but obviously you guys have like a really tough stretch here against Milwaukee and today Memphis and Dallas and Phoenix and Golden State. And when you're still trying to figure it out, like and get your feet under you, like how much harder does that make it to go against teams that are clicking like that?
I mean, I don't think it makes it harder at all. It's just, bad to say. At the end of the day, it's basketball. Like I said, like we run similar things. The rotations are similar. I mean, you might not be as comfortable with all the guys out there just yet, because you're so new. But I mean, trying to go out there and make winning plays and do the rotation and do the game plan, that's the main focus. I mean, everything else will take care of itself. I just go out there and try to execute the game plan, execute the coverages, make the right reads and actions, what the defense is giving me, and just be aggressive and playing my game, not thinking too much. We got a tough stretch, but I feel like no matter who's on the floor, as long as we're competing and fighting and pulling in the same direction, we're going to be all right. Each game is going to give you something different, and we just got to learn and grow from that. Like I said, no matter who we play, we can play people lower in the conference and either in the Eastern or Western. But if you allow that many turnovers for points and that many offensive rebounds for second chance points, you're not going to give yourself the best chance to win. So that's what I'm more focused on. Everything else will come to it. I'm just out there trying to make plays to help us win.
All right, thank you.
Next one.